And I'm Ryan O'Donnell. Thanks for joining us here. Well, tonight, outrage and questions continue over the man forcibly removed from United Airlines flight.
Yeah, that passenger was left bloodied after he refused to give up his seat that he was already sitting in. Now, the viral video and the airline's response making international headlines. You hear at 5:30, ABC's Kenneth Moten explains the potential consequences from New York.
United taking heat. The video of a 69-year-old man dragged off his Chicago to Louisville flight, sparking outrage. United Airlines needed to bump passengers to make room for 4 crew members, but no volunteers.
I could not believe what I was seeing or hearing.
United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz told employees he stands behind them and deeply regrets the situation. But he blamed the passenger, whom he said was offered $1,000 in compensation.
Oh my God!
United now making international headlines, especially in China, where it has big business. That passenger reportedly heard shouting that he's a doctor and Chinese. The company's value dropping more than $700 million at the opening bell.
While this may blow over and may not be a hit to their actual earnings out in the future, that is not the kind of headline that you want to see.
It's the second recent PR mess for United. 2 weeks ago, the airline made 2 teenage girls change out of their leggings before boarding a Denver to Minneapolis flight. This time, the anger includes a few jokes. The hashtag new United Airlines mottos trending. ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live also having fun at United's expense.
If we say you fly, you fly. If not, tough.
The CEO of United Airlines sent out a new statement apologizing to this customer, promising a thorough review. Federal stats show out of 86 million passengers, United denied boarding to 3,700 people because of overbooking. More than 60,000 voluntarily gave up their seats. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
All right, now experts believe United will continue to see fallout from the viral video for weeks, if not longer, to come. And joining us here in the studio to kind of break down everything and where the company could even go from here, we have Rick Laney with Rick Laney Marketing. Always good to see you.
Good seeing you, Kristen.
What was your first response when you saw that video?
My first response was that the airline industry in general is at war with their customer base. And once again, United really dropped the ball from a PR standpoint.
It's such a shame to hear it that way because we rely on them and they rely on us. It's supposed to be a partnership there, so to speak.
Absolutely. And the funny thing about this, I mean, they have a history recently of really not following typical PR protocol. I'm talking PR 101 kind of things,
right,
where you immediately issue a heartfelt apology. And they had an opportunity once this video came out to do that, and they issued kind of a soft sell apology.
Yeah, let's get to that because let's talk a little bit about what the CEO did immediately coming out with a first response that many believe was not enough. First, just apologizing only for having to reaccommodate or accommodate these customers. The second statement that came out late this afternoon saying, quote, "Like you, I continue to be disturbed by what happened on this flight, and I deeply apologize to the customer forcibly removed and to all customers aboard. Nobody should ever be mistreated this way." Do you think that was a little too late?
I think it was very late. I mean, that does sound like a more sincere apology, but it came out this afternoon. Their first attempt at an apology wasn't really an apology.
Do you think there would have been one had this not gone viral? Had the video not been out there to begin with?
No, and that's a great point. I mean, everyone today is a citizen journalist. It used to be that if you knew the Wall Street Journal or CNN was watching you, everyone would be on their best behavior. Today, you have to be on your best behavior 24 hours a day because everyone has a phone. Another thing that's interesting is it typically takes a large corporation 20 to 23 hours to respond, to communicate a response in a crisis. And if you go back and look at this situation, here they are this afternoon finally issuing what looks like a sincere apology, but during the interim, between the time it happened, it's trial by Twitter.
Right. And what about this? He went on to say, the CEO, that there was going to be a review of what happened and that they will report that review. Does that really do anything at this point to make this situation even better at all?
Probably not from a general public standpoint. They always fall back on policy that they have the ability to remove you from a seat that you buy.
Right. We keep hearing that over and over again.
The core issue here is that they sell more seats than they have. And when the airlines are doing that, there's always going to be the potential for this kind of a fiasco. It's one thing to offer people vouchers or money to give up a seat, but if you're going to take it to the point where you're going to physically remove someone, just switch that around, Kristen, and imagine a restaurant. I mean, a restaurant might have the ability to remove you if you've been occupying a table too long, but could you ever envision a situation where a restaurant would physically pick you up and drag you out?
No, not at all. We are out of time, but real quickly, can they rebound? Can United rebound, and how do they rebound real quickly?
This afternoon's response was probably the first positive sign that I've seen, and if they continue down that road, yeah, they can rebound, but their stock took a big hit today.
They took a big hit. All right, Rick, we always appreciate your insight. Thank you so very much. Ryan?
All right, guys.